This is genuinely painful to watch. Once again, Labour refuses to give a straight answer, choosing instead to deflect, dodge, and dance around the question. It's beyond frustrating. Why are we handing over British taxpayers' money and giving away parts of our own territory? It makes absolutely no sense. The British public deserves answers, yet all we get is weak excuses and political spin. In today's video, we have a Labour MP making an absolute fool of himself on live TV. His inability to provide a clear response is shocking, and quite frankly, I can't believe this is real. How do they expect people to trust them when they refuse to be honest? We'll break down the clip, react to this disastrous interview, and also cover the latest news from across the country. There's a lot to get into, and you won't want to miss it. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and become part of our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we do have new One Keir t-shirts available on our website. Go to britishstand.com or check the link in the description. Now let's get into it. Watch this.
Can you just explain something to me? So it's reported that you're giving sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, but you're also giving them £9 billion. What is that money for?
Well, there's been a whole bunch of speculation around the finances,
yeah, that's why
a lot of which I don't recognise.
Okay, so how much money are we giving them then?
Well, the details will be provided in due course of the deal. We said that we'll provide those details with Parliament in due course. We obviously don't normally, as a routine, comment on the costs of our bases overseas, and you'll understand that for national security
But just to be clear,
reasons.
the money is to pay for the base.
So the money is a crucial part of the arrangements, and those arrangements haven't changed. There's been no change
is the money
in that.
to pay for the base? Is that what that money's for?
So
because if you get my point, people might be like, hang on a minute, we're giving them land and we're paying them for the privilege. What's going on?
We pay for basing arrangements around the world, and there are important costs on those, and we're clear as a government that we won't scrimp on our national security, and this base is crucially important to the defence of the United Kingdom and the USA, and indeed to the security of our allies' security in the Indo-Pacific. We inherited an unsustainable situation.
Is the money for the base?
Well, we inherited...
It's really straightforward.
No, absolutely. We inherited... Yeah, we pay for basing all around the world, and we inherited an unsustainable situation for the base from the previous administration. They entered into negotiations, which they were right to do so. Went through 11 rounds of them over 2 years. They seem to have forgotten this, and we're very, very clear that we wanted to conclude this deal to secure the base into the future for our national security. Camille Badenoch doesn't seem to have been briefed on this, and we're very, very clear that this is the right deal.
The money's for the base. It's not for compensation. It's nothing like that. The money is just for the base.
The money is part of the arrangements around this. It's part of the deal. We'll set out those details in due course. Well, it is a class. We pay for basing all around the world. It's crucial for our national. It's crucial for our national security.
Is this money for the base?
So we pay for basing around the world. It's absolutely clear. We will provide the details of the deal in due course. We're not going to provide, obviously, a running commentary on all the discussions that are going on at the moment, but the quantum hasn't changed. The substance of the deal hasn't changed, and this is a deal that's good for Britain's national security and good for the security of our allies.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Greater Manchester Police have been accused of endangering a man's safety by publicly naming him after he burned a Quran in Manchester. Speaking to the media, Free Speech Union's Director of Case Management, Dr. Ben Jones, revealed they have tracked the man down and arranged for him to receive personal safety following the incident. Discussing the case on the People's Channel, Dr. Jones told Nigel Farage that the man's name, date of birth, and borough of residence were shared on social media platform X. Dr. Jones argued that the man should not have been arrested in the first place, as burning the Quran is not a crime. Jones explained, "We've spent the last few days trying to track this man down. We've found him, we have arranged for him to have legal assistance, and we've also arranged for steps to be taken to ensure his physical safety, which we of course cannot discuss now." The College of Policing guidance is absolutely clear that where there is an exceptional and legitimate reason not to name somebody because of who risk is charged because of risk, they should not be named. Detailing the case, Dr. Jones affirmed that risking the man's safety by publishing his details sets an atrocious precedent. He claimed, "The public interest in this case is that this man, firstly, should not have been arrested to begin with, because burning a Quran is not a crime. Certainly he should not have been charged. This is what we are hoping to clear up with the legal help that we've provided for him. They have prosecuted him under the Public Order Act for a supposedly racially aggravated public order offence, and this has set an atrocious precedent," he added. And when you look at what the judge has said in court the other day, that the feelings essentially of Muslims must be accorded particular respect, that Britain is a tolerant country, but we must not tolerate this. It's an atrocious precedent, and as soon as you head down this path, you are only going to encourage fanaticism. Reacting to the case, host Nigel Farage stated, "You can abuse Christianity, you can set fire to the Bible, nothing will happen to you, you will come to no harm. And yet, if you set fire to the Quran and you do it in Manchester, close to the memorial to those that died in the Manchester arena, you will find yourself in very deep trouble with the law. Do you see why it's two-tier? People think it's two-tier." District Judge Margaret McCormack told the man in court, "The Quran is a sacred book to Muslims, and treating it as you did is going to cause extreme distress. This is a tolerant country, but we just do not tolerate this behavior." She bailed the man on the condition he does not post anything further on social media and will sentence him on April 29. Greater Manchester Police's Assistant Chief Constable Stephanie Parker said, "We made a swift arrest at the time and recognized the right people have for freedom of expression. But when this crosses into intimidation to cause harm or distress, we will always look to take action when it is reported to us." Lastly, a judge has indicated that he is open to releasing Prince Harry's US visa documents. Judge Carl Nichols has hinted he could be open to releasing maximum portions of secret documents relating to the Duke of Sussex's immigration status. The judge previously ruled on September 9th that the Duke's visa documents should remain private. Judge Nichols asked lawyers for Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security to provide details of redactions it would like to request before considering a release. The hearing took place in Washington, D.C. It was the first time the case had been in court since Trump became president on January 20th. The judge has viewed the tightly sealed records containing details of Harry's visa status. Prince Harry, 40, is not a party in the case and was not present in court on Wednesday. The Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, originally brought the case after the Duke of Sussex discussed his previous drug use in his 2023 memoir, Spare. The think tank argues that Harry either received special treatment from the Biden administration or was dishonest on his immigration forms. Disclosing past drug use in a US visa application, especially when applying for a green card, is generally required. While it does not automatically result in a denial, it can impact an applicant's eligibility. Heritage requested under the Freedom of Information Act for the release of the visa records, however, this was rejected by the DHS. Judge Nichols said, "I'm not foreclosing the possibility that there might be some possible relief." He wanted the maximum disclosure as long as it doesn't violate privacy. The judge asked the DHS to provide requests for redactions or continued withholdings. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.